The House spent 10 days arguing about the bill before the successful vote.
Join us on the phone, somebody who was there. Pennsylvania Congressman Joe Sestak. Joe, great to have you on the show.
Great to be with you both. How are you?
Good. So how did you vote? Did you want to vote that way? Is this a good thing?
Yes, I voted for it, and it was better than the alternative of nothing. We should have had the courage, however, Mike, to vote on this prior to the election when, frankly, we had about a little bit more juice. I voted against adjournment 3 times to say, stay here and do the tax cuts, and don't worry about your electoral prospects. But the Democratic leadership didn't have the courage to do that. We ended up extending the very wealthy's tax extensions. We got the majority of the Bush tax cuts, and we've got to start controlling our debt. But I did it because, frankly, in my district, there's Upper Darby, a largest township in Pennsylvania. They're going to have a 6.5% increase in local taxes this year. 1,200 home mortgage foreclosures have walked in my district office. Not to have done this would have pulled the trigger against the working family and the middle class. I couldn't permit that to be done. And frankly, it's also going to bring down our unemployment. It's a backdoor stimulus bill. It's going to bring it down from nearly 10% today to 8.5 in about a year. Because we didn't have the courage 2 years ago to do a sufficient stimulus bill. We're doing more now in order to get what we could have gotten for less 2 years ago.
I hear the passion in your voice. We played a clip earlier this morning from Governor Ed Rendell. He was on Fox News talking about the tension within the Democratic Party and how essentially you guys just have to kind of get it together. If I want to ask you a question, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you describe the tension within the Democratic Party with the president right now? Say 10 being super severe and 1 being, not tense at all. Where would you say you are right now?
About in the middle.
In the middle?
Yeah, it is in the middle. And here's what it is. I think it's primarily a problem now in the Democratic caucus in the House. I stood there and listened to those that say, well, we shouldn't vote for this because extending the wealthy's middle-class tax cuts. And I watched Vice President Biden come in and listen to them. Hair got on the back of up on the back of both necks.
Yeah.
But frankly, Vice President Biden said what I just said. If we'd had the courage to do what was right with the original stimulus bill, $200 billion more in tax credits back then for small businesses, we wouldn't be here today. So those who are standing up and saying, wait a minute, we just can't do this, tend to forget you first and foremost represent the working family. And second, have the courage to do it when it's right. So I think the Hatfields and McCoys between the Republicans and Democrats, that fight has to stop. But I think within the Democratic Party, hold a mirror up to yourself and say, where was your courage when you should have done this right the first time?
I know. I agree with you. I wish this would happen before the election because then they might have changed my vote one way or the other and everybody else's. Joe, thank you so much.
Have a great holiday season.
You do the same.
Good.
Bye-bye.
We would talk a little longer, but that cell phone was not doing so well.
Just
7:35. It's a game with a playoff.